We're gonna make something cool today. You know, you tuned in thinking that I'm gonna make a spaghetti pie. A spaghetti pie. I'm gonna make something like a spaghetti pie. Right. It's more like a spaghetti cake though. A spaghetti cake. Can you imagine a spaghetti cake? It's gonna be, oh man, it's gonna be good. You can hear them here. They're very happy, but we wanna call it, Lee Underwood wants to call it a torta. A torta. So it's basically a spaghetti cake, but you know what? I can talk about it all day, but you wanna see what it is. That's the way you gotta, that's the way. So I'm gonna show it to you right now. Let's go, let's start right now. Now folks, the first thing we're gonna do is make a marinara sauce. A marinara sauce. So what we'll do is we'll cut up our onion, because this show always begins with an onion being cut up for some reason or another. So we're gonna go ahead and coarsely chop one onion, and that's gonna go into our pan, which is not on, but that's okay. I'll turn it on right now. We'll chop everything up. I just noticed that we didn't turn on our pan to get it heated, but that's okay. We've got a nice cast iron, enamel-covered cast iron pot today that we're gonna make our marinara sauce in. So marinara sauce, there's a secret ingredient that makes it a marinara sauce, not just a typical tomato sauce, and you'll find out what that is. Yeah, something fishy, because marinara means, you know, whatever. So marinara sauce would mean a sauce from the sea. And really, the marinara sauce was designed to be a sauce to go with something fishy, because there's nothing really too fishy in the sauce. So we've got a secret going here. We've got, yeah, so it's going to be a sauce to go over fish, although we're not doing anything with seafood today. But right now we are doing a little garlic, cutting up a little garlic for this one. So we got some garlic, and Greg likes the garlic, as the good, partially Italian person that he is. And we're all a little Italian today, making the marinara sauce, folks, having a good time. Chop up our garlic here. Okay, so what we've got going here is the garlic. Okay, so let's get all our ducks in a row here. We've got the garlic going. Yes, always room for a pun on the Men in the Kitchen program, ladies and gentlemen. Always room for a pun. All right, let's see. Is this going to heat up a little bit? It's going to take a little bit of time, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and put the sauce in here. We know what we could do. We're going to change, so we're going to go 360. We do this all the time in Man in the Kitchen. 360. Bing. We're not going to do the marinara sauce first, okay? We're going to do the spaghetti first. So let's let that heat up. Let's do the spaghetti first. Now, I've got some cooked spaghetti, all right? Cooked spaghetti. And there we are. It's ready to go. And what we have to do, we have to make when you're making spaghetti pie, what makes spaghetti pie is that instead of just having the noodles, you have some egg and other things that are going to make the noodles come together when you bake it. So we'll use some egg. That's what I'm getting at, folks. Some egg here. So let's go ahead and crack 3 eggs into this nice, clear bowl. And we've been working a lot with eggs lately. So there we go. Got those eggs in there, and then I'm going to get my egg whisker, and I'm going to whisk, as I do frequently with my egg whisker. Some people call it an egg beater. Some people just call it a whisk. But we're calling it an egg whisker today, for no apparent reason. Okay, so that goes into the spaghetti. Okay, and it's best if this spaghetti has been just cooked and just drained, because that way it's a little hotter, and then it's just easier to work with that way. So now that here we go. Gonna go ahead and just mix this all together, okay? Mix that all together. Some egg, some spaghetti, and you can, you know, if you cook your spaghetti with a little bit of salt in the water, you don't have to worry about salting it later too much. But if you wanted to add a little salt and pepper at this point, you could. In fact, I think I will. Got my pepper mill here. So we're gonna add a little fresh ground pepper. Yeah, Parmesan cheese. I have not forgotten that. Ladies and gentlemen, that would be the next ingredient to put in here, would be the Parmesan cheese. And let's go ahead and put that in now. Now I need to grate it. So let's move this guy over here a little bit, and then let's get our grater. Now it's Parmesan, folks. So we're gonna grate it and not get in too much trouble. So we're grating cheese, but it's Parmesan cheese, a little bit softer variety here. So we're gonna go ahead and grate that. And what we need to do, we're gonna put about a half cup in there. We figured half cup of a Parmesan cheese that we're gonna put right into our spaghetti mixture. But we're saving a little bit. I'm gonna grate this whole darn thing. We're gonna save a little bit to go on top of our spaghetti cake, or torta, as Lee Underwood wants to call it. Torta. And there we go, grating away. Look at this crumbling away. Oh, it's just crumbling away. And life is good. Life is good. Doing a pretty good job on this, if I may say so myself.
Still got all your fingers?
Yeah, I still got all my fingers.
Oh, the skin?
Not your skin.
And my skin. Everything is there, and we're in good shape. So let's put this right here. Okay, we're saving a little bit. Remember, I told you I was going to reserve a little bit of it. Save a little bit of it, and let's get our two. And again, we're just mixing this up. And this is kind of fun. It's kind of arts and crafts day at the Man in the Kitchen set, because this is really more like an arts and crafts thing. Now you'll notice this spaghetti is not as hot as the spaghetti will be when you make it, because this spaghetti is a little cooler. Otherwise, that Parmesan would be, melting a little bit more. But I don't know. Parmesan's not really a melter, so don't worry about it. All right, now once that's done, do you see these two 9-inch round pie plates that we've got here? Well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to reach over and do it this way. How's that? I'm going to reach over. Grease. And I'm going to grease them first. Thank you, Marit Cams. That's why we pay you the big bucks, Marit. Because she remembered. We got to grease these first because this stuff has to come out. So I've sprayed some of the cooking spray on it. So here we go. Look at this. Here we go. All right. With all the grace that I'm known for, I put some in here. There you go there. And then I got the other one. And I'm just going to pour the other one in. How's that?
Yeah. Safer.
It's safer, because whenever I try to get fancy, it's disaster, folks. That spells disaster. So I'm not going to get fancy on you. I promise. I promise I shan't get fancy. So there we go. Is that a word? So there we are. We've got this. We're going to mash it down, too. It's very important to mash it down, because the form that it takes going into the oven is the form that it's gonna keep forever, or at least until you eat it. Okay. So mash it down good, And then remember, there's egg in there, so it's gonna set up in the oven. Now these go into the oven in your standard 350-degree oven for about a half hour. I think it's about a half hour. So let's go ahead and put those in the. She left us for a minute. She's not standing right there, like she normally is. That's okay. Now she's back, folks. Sherry Underwood, the most famous hands in public television. Thank you very much, Sherry. There she is. So now those are going to bake. While those are baking, make the marinara sauce. See, it's not so bad because this is the way you'll probably do it at home. We kind of had to change the order of things here for the Man in the Kitchen program today, but this is probably the way you'll do it at home. So now I think we've got a hot enough pan here. Let's put a little bit more oil in here. Hot enough pan, we can go ahead and put our onions that we started at the top of the show right in there. Smells good, doesn't it? I mean, sounds good, doesn't it? You can hear it, you can't smell it.
I'll smell it for them.
Greg Wyatt, just keeps on giving. God bless him. He's going to smell it for you, folks, so you can trust him. So there we go. And let's go ahead and put our garlic in there, too, for our marinara sauce, folks, that we're making, because the marinara sauce is going to be in effect, our frosting for our torta today. So here we go. We're actually, just get this where the onions are limp, and the garlic, you don't want a brown garlic ever. So you just get to a point where the garlic's pretty much doing where it wants to, what it wants to, where it wants to, and what it wants to. Now, for the marinara sauce, what makes a marinara sauce different from a tomato sauce? And that would be a little herb I like to call, actually a little spice I like to call paprika. So we put a little paprika in there, folks. Paprika, it's where where Hungary meets Italy. We've got the marinara sauce. So I put that right in there with the onion and the garlic as we're sauteing. And not only does it make your house smell great right away and give you that immediate gratification, all right, for your senses, but it actually gives a chance for the spice, the paprika spice, to sort of marry or dance with the garlic and onion. There we go. We're using all kinds of trendy terms today on the Man in the Kitchen show. Yeah, poetic, We want to make sure that you folks are, you're tuning in to see a television show. We want to give you everything that you're expecting. All right, now that's cool. So now we're going to get ready to put in the tomato sauce, huh? So let's go ahead and put our tomato sauce in. What I've got here is I've just got a little bit of tomato paste mixed in with, like a 12-ounce can of cubed tomatoes. And it's actually got the packing juice still in there, because as you know, with tomato paste, you want to water it down a little bit. So that's in there, and choose this. So look at the texture. You don't want it to be too thin today, because we're making it and you'll see the visual on this when we get that spaghetti pie. When we're making the spaghetti pie, you'll see the visual on this. But right now it's just a tiny bit too thick. So we're going to add just a little water to that, a little bit of water. And then what I do at this point, and you can really, a secret, folks, to any tomato-based sauce, if you really want to make it taste hearty, is to add just a little bit of bouillon. Now what I've got here, I don't have the bouillon. I've actually got the bouillon paste. And And that works well too, because you can get the flavor without having to introduce the extra liquid, and you can kind of control the liquid that you put in there. So here we go. We're kind of getting to the texture we want here. Not too incredibly thick, but not too incredibly thin. Now, I like to put a little pepper in here. Little pepper, fresh ground pepper, and then a little salt is always a good idea too. A little salt in our marinara sauce. And I'm going to add just a little bit more water because that's going to cook down a little bit as I'm preparing the filling for my spaghetti cake today. Spaghetti cake. All right, so let me turn that down just a tad. Oh, a little, do we have any of that? No, I don't think we have any. That's pretty much it right there.
Okay.
All right, now let's take that off the, actually, I'm going to take that off the heat. So the next thing we do, folks, is we make the filling. This is going to be the filling that goes in the middle. Now let's do that next. Let's grab a bowl. We're going to grab a little bit of ricotta cheese. Ricotta cheese. Ricotta cheese is used a lot as far as filling in Italian cooking. It's used quite a bit, you know, as far as filling like manicotti and stuff like that. So it's a great filling cheese. So we're going to use it because it's such a good filling cheese. Now, in case you thought this was going to be a healthy show, I'm sorry to disappoint you folks, but we're going to put in a little bit of cream cheese, ladies and gentlemen. Cream cheese.
Oh, baby.
Oh, baby. With our ricotta, a little cream cheese. And it's softened to room temperature. If you don't want to leave it out on the counter, then just put it in the microwave, your microwave oven, for a few minutes. Maybe not even a minute, maybe 30 seconds. Actually, a few seconds is really the word I was reaching for there. So just a few seconds. So then let's mix what we've got up here a little bit. And this is a white, oh man, this is a white sauce that's going to go in the middle. Okay, and then what comes to mind next? Sour cream. Sour cream. Let's add a little sour cream, and I'm only adding enough sour cream to get this to the spreading consistency for our spaghetti cake or spaghetti torta today. And look at this, on the first try, I think I got it pretty much the consistency I wanted to with just a little bit of sour cream. You just have it on hand and just introduce just a little bit. So now we get the ricotta, cream cheese, and sour cream. Oh my gosh. This is it, folks. This is healthy eating right here. All right, I'm going to set that aside. There's one more thing I'm going to add. A little fresh basil. Oh, I'm going to save a few of these. Sherry was worried there. I'm going to save a few of those to make it look pretty on top. And I'm just going to chop up fresh basil. And Sherry, I can tell that this came from your gardens at your home, your lovely home up there in Beverly Hills. And so I'm going to, I am so excited about this basil because this is fresh backyard basil. Backyard basil. All right, so there we go. Just chop it up enough so that we can, distribute it evenly throughout our nice little white sauce there. There it goes, into the white sauce.
Nice.
Does that smell good, Greg?
Oh, yeah.
That Beverly Hills basil.
Beverly Hills basil.
Oh, man.
Wait.
Something Hills, maybe not Beverly, but something Hills. It's nicer than Beverly Hills, personally. Granada Hills, that's the place. Beautiful Granada Hills. All right, there you go, folks. Now, the time has come to compile the spaghetti cake. Now, we know that that cake is still, we do the show right straight through. Bing! 28 minutes later, everything's done. So you know that spaghetti that's in there right now is not quite done yet. But we just happen to have two that are done. And here they are right here. So here we go. Let's put this one. See, folks, look at the texture. See what I mean? Sliding it right off that plate there. That's the texture you're going to get. So that's just perfect for us. So this is where we take our beautiful white sauce. Actually, it's not really a sauce. It's the white filling. And we put it right in the middle there. And look at this. I'm telling you, if your kids don't eat this, that's tough. There's something wrong with them.
Good for you.
Yeah, send them to one of those camps that they always advertise in those high-class, high-end magazines. You ever notice that? You get one of those high-class, high-end magazines, and the end of the magazine is just full of places, military school. Problem with your kids? Send them to Bob's military school. So, I don't know. You guess the correlation. All right, so that's all with the white sauce. Then the second layer, stretching it. Second layer, folks, right there. Okay, goes right on top, like that. Okay, looking good. And then we come right over here and we take our, let's see.
Ingredient from the sea.
The ingredient from the sea. If you wanted to, Greg, you could put a codfish right here, right now. You could just put a whole codfish right on top, then put the marinara sauce, and hence would be the you know, would be the completeness of the marinara sauce. Or you could use an orange roughy, whatever you wish.
I like the cod.
The cod. He likes the cod.
Cold.
I got a pet cod once. No, I don't want to talk about that during this is a great moment here. This is a great moment here. Look at this, folks. The marinara sauce right over the top, and you've got yourself one heck, and I'm talking heck, of a dish. And look at that. And then you want it to go over the side? Do you want it to go over the side?
Yes.
Living a little dangerously here.
Drip, drip.
There it goes. Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's going.
Yes.
Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah.
The people who thought they were getting spaghetti pie, and they tuned in and heard it was going to be spaghetti cake, and they were disappointed. I think we've gained them back now because we've got this wonderful spaghetti torta. All right, spaghetti cake. And you know what I'd like to say right now, ladies and gentlemen? There's one person I want to thank for this recipe, and that's my wife, Donna Baker. Can we give her a big hand right now, please? Donna Baker. She came up with this. She made this up. She made this up.
Original recipe?
It's her original recipe, and look how cool it is. It's just, it's awesome. It's an original Donna Baker recipe. So, and just when you think you're done, remember, we gotta put a little of that Parmesan. We had some Parmesan that's gonna go over the top. And you know,
Candle.
and a candle would be cool. I know, I'm just thinking it should say happy birthday over the top of it. It really should.
With the basil.
I wish that we had a, you know, I wish we could do that with the bait. We could do this. And then you know what, we have some of that left over. Do we have any Ziploc bags? Do we have any in here? Yes, we do. Look at that. Look at this. This is total improv. Total improv, ladies and gentlemen. Total improv. We have 4 minutes left, and this is it, folks. None of this is planned right now. None of this is planned. Okay, here we go. We're taking the sour cream. Okay, sour cream. You know where I'm going? And then you can make little. What do you think?
Yeah.
Huh?
Do it. Oh, you're piping.
I'm piping.
Piping.
I'm piping
Down.
sour cream.
You demand.
You know?
Of course, such demand.
You know, I really am, folks. A lot of people might be tuning in right now and saying, "What kind of show is this anyway? Huh? What kind of show is that? What the heck?"
It's a little bit more than piping.
Yeah, and you could even put a little emblem on here. You know, you could say,
Globule.
"Hi, happy." You know, you don't have enough room for happy birthday, but you might have enough room for HB. And then, or,
You are a madman.
you know, Greg Wyatt, you know, he's our beach guy. He's a beach cat. He could go back to Huntington Beach, Hermosa Beach. This could be Hermosa Beach.
Or Huntington Beach.
Or Huntington Beach. But Greg Wyatt, he's one of those good old LA County beach guys. So I guess it would be Hermosa Beach that we're talking about here, the LA County beaches. And there we go, folks. There you have one heck of a, you know, you have one heck of a thing, one heck of a deal, one heck of a meal. It's a deal and it's a meal all in one. All right, they are telling me that I am not in the improv business. I'm a cooking show host. I need to move on. Okay, so anyway, don't go away, folks, because you know who's coming back? Who could top this show right now? What could be any better than Dan Underwood, our dessert cat? So yeah, Dan, did you hear? Dan he's right there. He's looking over the fence. He's been watching the whole time. All right, we're going to invite him in through the gate. He's going to be here in a second. Please don't go away. Is complete with a little match and a little candle. I mean, it looks so much like a birthday cake. We made it into a birthday cake. So here we go. And let's see, whose birthday? Sydney's is the closest?
Andy's.
Andy's birthday is the closest. So for Andy, I'm going to make a wish and blow it out. Yeah, there we go, ladies and gentlemen, for Andy Underwood. Now, I'm going to cut into this because at the break, the folks were saying, how do you eat that darn thing?
How do you eat that darn thing?
You eat it just like a cake. Just like this. Watch this. Okay, we cut into it. All right, and then, do I have a spatula? Yes, I do. All right, here we go, folks. Right into the, don't mind my fingers, I hope.
Oh, bravo.
Right there. You know. Da-da-da-da-da-da, that's it. You could probably leave it up, you know. Leave it up.
Lovely.
There we go. Okay, so,
All right.
what more do you want? Ladies and gentlemen, dessert. Dan Underwood is here. Dan, thank you so much for coming once
Jeffrey,
again.
well, I don't know. You've already made a cake.
That's right, I made the cake. What are you going to make, Dan?
We're going to make something called a coffee dessert.
See, that's fast 10 times.
You can't.
No, especially after that. What are you going to put in this, Dan?
This is some form of coffee liqueur.
Coffee liqueur.
Any coffee liqueur would be fine, I presume. I like one of them. We start off with angel food cake. You can buy the loaf or the round. You got a 9-inch springform pan, and just kind of layer.
Ah, I see what you're doing here. Look at that. I wasn't quite sure, Mart. He was, you know, he was cutting it up at the break. Now we know why.
You're going to overlap it in the dish.
Okay.
And make it better.
Push it down a little bit.
Overlap, push it down, having
Pushy,
fun.
pushy, pushy.
You are so pushy.
Good looking cake.
Ooh.
But it's just not cake, you know, it's more than a cake.
You know
Push
what
it
you're
down.
doing? You're making a white Russian, it looks like.
And what I like to do, because it's, you know, angel food cake and it does absorb, you can absorb a little
There you
bit
go,
more
people.
booze. So, you know, if you picked Kahlua,
Oh, booze.
you're in the you know, winner circle.
In the winner's circle.
What we're going to do from here is set that aside.
All right. I'll take care of this.
We have 4 cups of vanilla ice cream, almost to pudding style, because you'll see in a minute.
Ooh.
We have a teaspoon of instant coffee. This happens to be instant espresso,
Okay.
or a tablespoon, excuse me, with a tablespoon of water. And you're just going to mix that together.
Oh, this is a seriously good dessert today.
Kind of thing you
We have a teaspoon of vanilla we're going to add to that.
Teaspoon of vanilla. Ooh.
Urban vanilla?
Urban vanilla.
Bourbon.
Or bourbon, as they might say.
And since it's, you know, toffee coffee,
Toffee coffee.
we are going to
Look at him
Add that into there.
Coffee, espresso, and vanilla into your ice cream.
then
You
go
want me to
ahead,
take that?
shot glass,
A shot glass for somebody.
and we're going to go ahead and mix that up. I suppose if you wanted to cut a corner, you could buy coffee ice cream.
No.
But that just takes all the fun out of it.
No. Yeah, I would not do that. I would not do that.
You really?
No. You got to. This is the drama. You know, you need the drama, folks.
And it's also toffee,
Now, how'd you get that toffee again?
chocolate bars,
Chocolate. Okay, so these are bars that you
and chopped up.
chopped up. Excellent.
Chocolate.
And you just
Oh man, this looks good.
go ahead
Doesn't
and
this look
go this around. You have to do this ahead of time. This is nothing you can create and serve right off the bat, because it will need time to go back in the freezer.
good? So okay, so this will go back in the freezer. All right, you need this back?
Yes, I will need that back,
See, I can
because we're going to go ahead
anticipate all this.
and pour this
Ah,
all over that. Make sure it gets in its nooks and crannies.
yeah, or at least the crannies. Oh, folks, I see where this is going.
Okay, we're going to spread that around.
This is going.
Now you might think, hey, that's it. Put it back in the freezer. Well, it's not. Although we are leaking a little bit, but that's to be expected.
That's to be expected on a show
we
with
have
the guys cooking.
Cool Whip, some more Kahlua,
More
or
Kahlua.
any non-dairy.
Coffee
You're
flavored
gonna-
Mexican liqueur.
And it's coffee flavored Mexican liqueur
Gonna
by, yeah, if you don't want to use the brand name.
Gently fold this together.
Non-dairy with topping.
into your non-dairy whip topping, ladies and gentlemen.
Non-dairy whip topping.
And he's going to freeze this too, I think.
This all gets put back in the freezer for a minimum of 4 hours.
Minimum of 4.
Probably needs more.
You do need to plan ahead. So,
Yes.
so in other words, Dan, you're saying plan this before you start nipping on the Mexican liqueur.
Well, there's always time for
time
a
can
little
slip away
nip
from you.
here and there.
Time will slip away from you. Not that we're condoning alcoholism or anything.
Okay,
but-
we're going to go ahead and put that in again, at least 4 hours. Overnight's best.
Oh, well, let's make it the night before.
Yeah. And if you want to gently rip that out of the way,
Okay, so you want to just take the whole thing?
yeah, why don't we just
Just
take that
the
whole thing,
thing, folks, because you never know what's going to happen.
and
So-
then we'll come back to what it will look like, freezer.
Look at that.
You're going to cut around the outside first, and then you're going to open that up,
Hence the spring part of the spring form. Let me take that from you.
and then we're going to try to be creative here.
Try to be creative. Today we're trying to be creative. Cuts right into that. Do anything to that knife, or just get a good Sharpie?
Good sharp knife, because remember, it's still ice cream and
Yeah.
cake underneath.
I think he's gonna do it. He's got all the skill required. I'm so glad we did
voila.
that background check on Dan.
It's a cake day.
It's a cake day. All right, well, Dan, since you've been licking your fingers, I'm not gonna shake your hand, but I'll give you a big hug anyway. All right, folks.
Thank you, folks.
0 on her counter there, meaning that we gotta go. Folks, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Jeff.
Dan,
We'll see you next time on Man in the Kitchen.
take care, everybody.
All right.